starting to get a little more organized. We're going to rearrange things a little bit. Starting to build the second shoe rack. Just hanging out. Wanted to talk about a few things. Some awesome responses to the putters episode. I know I'm kind of joking or whatever. I saw Scotty looking at the story. Probably by accident because he didn't look at the next one. But it's cool hanging out here, showing off some of the stuff that I have. Couple comments or a couple answers to some questions from that episode. You know, I don't really know a lot about fake and counterfeit product or what to look for. I know a few little tricks. You know, I know Scotty, for example, the putter grips, if they smell like rubber, it's probably fake. He has a chemical that he uses that takes the rubber scent out of it. That's probably the one that's faked the most. Probably head covers are probably right there with it. And then the weights and stuff, I wouldn't even call them fakes. I would just call them unauthentic. Just get yourself a good scale that you can do grams with, right? If you weigh it and it's right on, who cares if it's authentic or not, if you're going to use it. For a collector, that's a different story. Again, like I said, most of the stuff that I have, it's stuff that I've either used or tried or been given or bought through the years. It's not that I was trying to collect. So a lot of the stuff that people know about Scotty's when it comes to counterfeit stuff and how to detect it, I don't really know. A couple of things I do know. I know 303 stainless is not magnetic. So if you have a putter, I probably should have set this up before. Sorry, I kind of stopped. But anyway, if you have a putter that you can get a magnet to stick or a ball mark or something to stick to the putter, it's probably a counterfeit. If it looks too perfect or is too good to be true, I'd probably stay away from it. The head covers sizing is always an issue. They don't make them long enough, so the kind of the back is kind of hanging out, and the Velcro doesn't close very well because of it. And then the stitching is usually a little off. You start to see the rainbow Circle T stuff. There's a ton of space between the Circle T's, whereas the other ones is a lot more, and they're tighter. The colors are a lot more realistic, not, you know, kind of that fake what you'd see in a picture type color. And then usually the Titleist is either not there where it's supposed to be, or if it is there, it's kind of scribbled kind of sloppily. So again, just a few things that I know of that people asked about. I'm trying to think of any more that I can think of. The Napa was really counterfeited. You know, they didn't make a lot of the ones with the grapes all over it. That Napa Valley, that limited edition. So to see that, chances are it's fake. You know, when you're gonna find a Napa that's real, it's gonna probably look more like mine. Not a limited edition. You know, those were hard to find and easy to fake. So, you know, Circle T's, as I said, most of the time, the ones that look like they're hand stamped, you know, but you can tell once you get them in your hands that they're not. Those are fake all the time. But most of the time, the Circle T stuff, they're gonna try to find the milled version one. You know, the GSS with actually not the GSS, but the GSS insert. You see those a lot. You see a lot of the Tour Rat and the Super Rats because they're milled on the bottom, and they can kind of copy that and mill it in. So yeah, so when I'm spending a lot of money, if I'm spending a lot of money on a putter, it's not going to be on a milled one. Like I said, the two that I have in here that are milled, the Combi and the Golo, one, I got them early enough that I don't think they would have been counterfeited yet, and then two, they're not really a popular model to counterfeit. So that's the other thing too. A lot of times, if it's a popular model that has value to it, those are the ones you got to be careful for. You know, a regular Newport, especially like an old beat up one or one of the ones with the 3 dots, you're not going to see those bootlegged a lot because they're not worth anything anyway. So to bootleg them makes kind of no sense. Usually you're going to see the Circle T's or the limited editions or stuff like that, you know. Hard to find ones, or like the Napa that wasn't really done a lot of. Or then the opposite way, I would never buy a used or a iffy Newport or Newport 2, because those are the ones that everybody fakes, everybody wants. So yeah, if I'm getting a Newport or Newport 2 style, I'm gonna make sure it's authentic and properly new. Other than that, the magnet is really the only thing I know. A bunch of Scotty guys have watched my YouTube. Hopefully, if there's some stuff that you guys know that I don't to tell people, you guys chime in the comments. That's why I'm kind of doing this stuff. Again, Almeida Golf kind of started as a crusade against the used car salesman, right? And again, I have friends that are car salesmen, so I apologize to the ones that I like, but I'm talking about the stereotypical ones. TS, CC, you know, you go to these studios, you hit it 6 feet into a net, and they're putting you into a $2,000 driver, and they're upcharging you for puring it, and this, that, and the other thing, and they're getting in all these little nickel and dime stuff that makes golf expensive and accessible, right? When all you had to do is, you know, go to a demo day or something with, you know, where the guy has all the shafts. That's more the biggest issue, is the lack of access. You know, a lot of guys, the reason why I thought Almeida Golf would, and probably still can if somebody got behind it, or that model succeed, a lot of clubs don't have access to the expensive, the exotics, you know, so there's always that what if, you know, you buy the stock shaft that you got fit for, and then there's always, ooh, I wonder if that one's better. I didn't have the opportunity to try it. Or what does that one feel like, right? So one of the guys that chimes in once in a while, and he actually chimed in last time I was live and asked about his shaft. He was playing the Ventus Blue that I fit him for, and he said, is the Ventus still current? And I was like, absolutely. If you watch on tour, they're everywhere. It's a great shaft. Fujikura has figured it out with that Velocore. And it comes in so many different launches. But I see all you guys reaching out, and you're like, oh, I want the 6S in either blue or black. It's a completely different shaft. So why would you want that? You know, oh, I just want to hit it. So there you go. That proves my point, right? But again, what I was saying, the guy that reached out, he was one of the guys that I fit originally. He wanted that orange ADDI shaft, and I fit him to the Diamante Blue, and I said, here they are. Let's go play a few holes. And he still was kind of like up in the air, and I said, keep them both. Tell me in a week, I'll come get them. And sure enough, he picked the stock, because there was no difference between the stock and the upcharge for him. A couple years later, I fit him, and now it was a different story. The Ventus blew away anything else. So that's what I'm talking about, is opportunity. And that's what I tried to create with Almeida Golf. And that's where I think guys go into these fittings with these elaborate boutiques, and they think they're going to come out with a better fitting because they were able to hit everything. But it's not true, because they're not able to hit stock. So they're going into that fitting knowing they're charging probably 25 to 40% more for what a driver should be, or a set of irons and stuff like that. But because the consumer doesn't have opportunities to hit other stuff, it kind of becomes their only option. But now you're starting to see these demo days, you're starting to see these companies finally realizing that it's not about performance anymore. It's about buyer satisfaction, buyer awareness. You want to be able to look at your buddies and say, yeah, you hit that orange shaft. Yeah, it's great, it's pretty, it looked good for Tiger, but it doesn't fit me. Right? That's where we need to get more into getting the golfer to understand the drivers aren't $299 anymore. They're $499. And again, here we go. I'm kind of off beaten path, because I started talking about counterfeit putters, and now we're on to fitting and where my business model came from. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. It's part of the reason why I haven't shipped out some of the final shafts. It's part of the reason why I appreciate all of you that have reached out with job opportunities. I'd say probably every single one of them would have been viable 3 years ago. I probably would have taken a massive pay cut to accept it. I'm just not that dude anymore. I don't care anymore. I'm just kind of chilling. I have decided I'll start quitting smoking. I know I gotta pass a drug test if I want any type of job, but it's one of those, I'm trying to figure things out. I appreciate everybody that reached out with job opportunities, and if I sounded snippy or sarcastic, it's just kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just all over the place, and I don't want to deal with anything head on. So it's easier just to crack a joke and laugh about the fact that I'm not hireable. So it's kind of funny, you know, none of this is woe is me, and that's kind of why I started going back to more just golf. And again, I know I kind of got off track a little bit, but this podcast is going to be just golf. My life stuff will be on the other page, but I don't anticipate that coming up very often anymore. I'm in a better place now. I'm doing well. I'm kind of on the, okay, we got to get our head out of our ass stage. So yeah, I'm going to go through ups and downs. When the weather's brutal like it's been the last couple of weeks, I'm going to have my mood swings, and I'm not going to want to talk to anybody. So that's just going to be me, and it's a lot easier to do it when the pages are completely separated, and that's kind of how I wanted to do it all along. It just kind of got a little overwhelming, and it's where I was at the time. I'm a little all over the place in terms of projects. You know, I get started on something, and then the bird flies by, and I go to chase the next one and never finish what I wanted. I wanted to put this together for a couple months. So I got to start doing one project at a time. I've started making lists for myself to do things to get myself employable again. I don't know. If this sounds like a rant, I guess maybe I won't post it. Who knows? It's been a while since I've kind of opened up and kind of started talking. But yeah, again, I started the day talking about the U.S. Ryder Cup uniforms. I'm not even going to get into that one again. Then I started thinking about all the fake putter stuff, and then I kind of was dropping off the shaft. So that was kind of topic of conversation, topic of thought, and then I sit here and I just kind of get rambling all over the place, and that's kind of where my life's been. So if it sounds like a roller coaster, welcome aboard. Whoop, whoop. Until next time, guys, let's go.